Today I will give you 26 tips to improve in Chapter 5 of Fortnite. Every beginner should know. There are even some tips probably some better players don't even know about, so stay tuned. And let's get right into the video. So the first tip is to find your perfect sensitivity. So there are a lot of tips out there to find your perfect sensitivity, so I will go through it really quickly. So for me I use 1600 dpi with a sense of 2.9 for my X and Y axis, and for my targeting I use 50%. Because of this season you always use scopes, so I like to have it a bit more higher. And please don't copy your favorite pro sense, find your own one. For me I can do like 1 360 on my mousepad, which is a perfect rotation, which is a starting point where you can start adjusting your sensitivity for your liking. But try to get used to a bit more slower sense to have better aim. So the next tip we are talking about is keybinds. Everyone should have their own keybinds, which is also all personal preference. But I can give you some tips for it to decide which one to use. So in settings, the first thing you always want to have is scroll wheel reset. So you want to bind your building edit and your reset building edit to scroll wheel down or scroll wheel up. What this does is you edit a wall and you can just scroll your mouse wheel and it will reset. So this is super useful for box fighting and almost everything in the game. Also for my keybinds you can see I use both of my mouse buttons for building and my thumb for the floor, and also my pinky finger for the cone. So I try to use not the same finger for every of my bind. Also I added on F, which is my index finger, and also my fastest and strongest finger. For the weapon keybinds, the shotgun keybind is the most important in my opinion, so I use Q for it. What I was trying to do with this keybind, I want to have it on a different finger than my edit bind, so I can edit and pull out my shotgun instantly. Also everyone is complaining about a new movement this season, and because of the movement change there are also some new double movement changes you can make to improve the movement even more. So for your strafe angle you want to use a maximum number of 71, which allows you to move from left to right in the max speed possible, which is super helpful in almost every situation. For the rest of the double movement I like to have my forward diagonal angle on 70 and my backward on 135. So the next tip is a really simple tip. You want to optimize your PCs to get the most amount of frames, which helps in almost every situation in the game. Like no one wants to die because of frame drops. There is a lot of guides out there which can help you. I also made some if you want to check them out. Just a really simple trick. All the pros have their PCs optimized to get the most possible performance out of their PCs. So in the next tip we are talking about dropping. And dropping in Fortnite is one of the most important parts of the game. The tip here is to drop at the lowest point on the map you can find. So if you want to drop for this spot, you want to drop in the water and don't pull out your glider above the tree. So as you can see, I dropped over the water and I got a nearly perfect drop for like this building or here, which is extremely important to win your off-spawn fights. So the next tip is about looting and the only way to loot correctly. Let's say for example you killed someone and you want to get all the loot you need. So a lot of you out there would probably go there with your gun out and you just take a look what you want. So you pick up your minis and your shockwaves, and while you're doing that you are really careful to not pick up any weapons. But there's a really simple fix you can do to loot efficiently and really quickly. So what you want to do is you want to take out your pickaxe and just go through it with your pickaxe. And you will get all the heal and the meds and the ammo without picking up any gun or any other stuff you don't want. Okay, now we got a super quick tip everyone should know, and it's about building material. So every wood wall will start with 90 health and will go up to 150. Every brick wall will start at 99 health and will go up to 300. And every metal wall will start at 110 health and will all the way go up to 500. To destroy a wood wall with a pickaxe you need 2 pickaxes. And to destroy a brick wall you need 3 pickaxes. And for a metal wall you need 4 pickaxes. So if you get pushed or sprayed, make sure to always use hard mats, which will be much more useful in any situation, and you will give your opponent a much harder time to fight you. So the next tip is also another setting you need to make. It's under the third tab and it's called preferred item slots, which is super useful. Make sure to have it on. So what I like to have here is to have my shotgun on slot 2 my SMG on slot 3 and all the other settings unsigned. So what this will do is, if you pick up a shotgun or a SMG, it will automatically go to your second slot. Also, another super useful setting here is hold to swap pickup. So this means if you got an AR or something else, any weapon or any item, you can hold your pickup bind and it will switch your selected weapon with the one you're picking up. Let's say you have a better shotgun here, you can hold your pickup bind and you will pick it up even if you have an empty item slot. So the next thing I want to show you is how to phase through walls to get into any box. I will show you 2 techniques how you can do it. So the first technique is just like that. You build a ramp behind you and you will just go through the wall. Second technique, you just want to time the shot, so you will just go through the wall. Just like this. So the next step is to reality check you and tell you that you don't should play ranked to get a better rank. Play ranked to get better at fighting and improve at your fighting skills, because no one will care about your rank. When you're starting with Fortnite, there's something you should use 100%, which is the radar mechanics map. This is the best way to quickly improve your mechanics, and you can practice all the different moves like piece control, tunnels, edit parkours, and even crosshair placement, which we'll come through later in this video. So in this map you want to do all the different tunnels, also the peak practice, and you can also use this as a warm-up map. For example, for tunnel 1 you just want to go through it. And after you do this, you will get better at this. Now we get to the next tip, which you can also do in this map, which is free building. Free building is one of the most fun part of Fortnite, in my opinion. You can always go into creative and free build, but while free building, you want to do new things, new retakes, which are pretty difficult. But the after you do this, you will get better and better, and you will get much more consistent with your editing. There are also some great guides on YouTube for all the high ground retakes you can learn, and just try to replicate them. The next map you want to play is Zone Wars. Zone Wars is really realistic compared to other creative maps, and you will train your tunneling, which is super important for endgame practice, and also you get sprayed from every direction in this mode, which also improves your awareness a ton. Also in this mode you want to try to practice all the different things, like phasing into boxes, also taking good peeks, and just play a bit more aggressive in this. Also in this mode, try to use the phases I learned you. Also, if you watch a lot of pros, you will see them playing this map a lot. Which comes to my next tip, watching pros. Watching pros is almost one of the important tips I can give you today. Because if you watch them, you will always learn something new, which you didn't know before. And I think like almost everyone knows, if you watch like pro and you jump into the game, you always think you like booger or something, but then you just find out your ass. Unlucky. Learning from pros is, in my opinion, one of the most important parts. So the next step is to not 50-50 everyone you see on the map. Like, you see someone boxed up like this, and one thing that comes into your mind is jumping into this box, and you don't know anything about the player status. If he has max HP or what guns does he have. So try to always play safe, take smart peeks like this. The only time I want you to 50-50 is if you have a major advantage, like a major health advantage, or you know the player is really bad, or if you see the player is like a pro and you can't kill him on another way, and the only way to kill him is to 50-50 him, which is sometimes the only way you can kill him. But please don't just randomly jump into boxes. So the next tip is to always have a cone in your box. And the reason for it is because you can place cones in the box from outside, which you can see like this. And also if you're getting pushed like this, the opponent will always try to place a ramp in or a cone, and you will place both and you're almost trapped in there. And also a really easy side tip I can give you here is you can place cones over a wall. So if you see someone is behind there, you can just place a cone there and he's blocked. So you can see, really easy to do, and you need to learn this. So in the next part I will talk about crafting and which mods to use and which mods will give you a major advantage. So for mods for the scope, you want to use the scope that fits best to your playstyle. So I like the Holo 13 optic the most. For your magazine you want to use the speed mag, which increases your reload speed. And for the underbarrel, this is actually personal preference, but I like to use the angled foregrip. And for the barrel, the silencer is technically the better option, but this is only good if you have a suppressor on all of your weapons and your enemy also has a suppressor on all of his weapons. So just go with muzzle brake, because this case will almost never happen. The reason why you want to use the scope is because you can shoot next to a wall like this, but if you got no scope equipped, you can't shoot through it. So which means you will be more exposed to the enemy because you have to go much more on the right or left. We win. So the next tip we are talking about is crosshair placement. So you want to go back on your radar mechanics training map and you see this edit training V4. So you can choose between static and moving. So I'll just shoot at moving. Now I have to place a wall and have to edit in this circle from every direction because I get moved around. And I need to have my crosshair as tight as possible. Always try to follow the red line. So this is one of the most useful things you can do, because having super good crosshair placement will increase your edit speed and also your aim, because you are more centered with a crosshair where all the enemies are. So the next thing we are talking about is playing creative or ranked to improve. So at first, when you start playing, I would definitely say play creative like all the time and try to get the best mechanics you can get and also improve your aim. But when you got pretty solid at creative, try to switch and jump into ranked, which is much more difficult because you will have all the stress and it will feel way more laggy and realistic. So don't just expect because you are good in creative, you are good in in-game, which is not the case. But also I can give you the tip to play solo rank, because if you play in team mode it will probably make more fun, but you could also get carried and you won't get punished that hard for every mistake you make. Try to play solo ranked the most. So the next thing is, when you are fighting, you always want to have 2 boxes, like this. If you're playing squad, you could also make 4 boxes, which is a lot better to fight in. But for one player, 2 to 3 boxes is in most cases enough. And let's say the opponent is in this box, and you have your 2 boxes like this. You want to get far piece. So stay safe behind this wall with like this added or this added. And try to take this wall from this far. Now you have time to go to your left. You have a right hand peek, so the opponent can't see you. Then you want to do the edit, and you have this much space to hit him. So try to go for a shot. So edit, try to go for a shot. You can edit this wall back. And also a good tip is, if you want to reset this wall behind the cone, edit this wall and hold your wall out so you can grab the edit from the other wall that's back there from further away. As you can see, I can edit from this far away, and when I'm not holding my blueprint out, I need to go to this position to even grab the edit. So this is super useful. So the next trick is to learn a move you almost do in every game you play, which is a double edit and a full piece. So you can go like this and try to do this move all the time. So in the next part I will tell you about how to fight if you are low. Please. Okay, now I'm cracked, so someone will probably pressure me. You want to heal, but you probably can't heal. and you want to go for a counter shot. So now you both have to heal, and the opponent will probably go back and heal himself. So try to always go for a predict counter shot. As you can see, I just wait for him to edit. I'm going for a shot, and I killed him. Which comes to my next point, take time in fights. Okay, just wait, and he will open up. As you can see, just like that. Okay, let's take this guy as an example. I full box him, and I will edit the window. Okay, I just wait, as you can see, to edit. And he edits, and I can one pop him easily. Okay, now we come to the last tip of today's video, which is one of the most important tips from this video. And it's use supported creator code NINK, which will double your skill in 1 second. So that's it for today's video. If you enjoyed this type of content, please leave a like and subscribe, and give me some feedback, because this is my first facecam video, and please be serious. So see you in the next video, and bye.